What is up, LEGO fans? This is Tom from True North Bricks, and I'm coming at you with another LEGO unboxing. So this is probably one of the more anticipated reveals of the January 2022 collection. So I know I have personally been looking forward to this for quite some time, and I'm really excited to be able to reveal this particular set for you. Well, you'll see in a minute, it's not actually a set per se, but it did come straight from Denmark. So what I have for you here is Minifigures Series 22. So if you follow True North Bricks on Instagram, we've been doing a countdown of the minifigures, trying to figure out what is the most anticipated minifigure of Series 22. So there you have the box, right? So this is what you would see at the LEGO store or Toys R Us or wherever it is that you build or buy your minifigures. So the box, hold on, is taped. Let me just undo this little pieces of tape on the side. So the box flips open like this. And of course that is the display that you would see at the store. So I'm going to go through these. I'm going to make a feel guide. I'll feel up each of these packages, try to figure out what's inside, and once I've determined what characters what, we'll do an unbagging of each of the characters from the series. So stay tuned for that. Alright, what's up, LEGO fans? I am back after feeling my way through the entire box of Series 22 minifigures. So, I can now confirm that this box, at least, contained 3 complete sets of all of the minifigures. So, I haven't opened any of the bags yet, I just felt them, and I've written out some notes here for myself, so that I know which minifigure I think is supposed to be in every single one of these bags, as well as kind of the identifying characteristics that I used in order to determine what was what. So, we're going to begin here with the minifigure that I believe is the figure skater. So, in terms of this character, the first thing that I felt in here was the skates. So they are kind of an odd-shaped piece, but you can feel the round stud on them as well as the narrow base. So that was the first thing that really stood out here. I also put here that there is a 1x2 jumper inside of the bag, as well as the minifigure stand that makes the character look like they're kind of jumping in the air or floating. So those were the main characteristics that I used. However, there were 3 of these, of course, in the box, and in one of them, at least, I was able to find the trophy pretty easily. So that's another telltale sign that you have this character. So let's see if I was correct in my assessment. So, yeah, we have the display base there and the minifigure itself. So this has a blonde version of the hair that you get with the Queer Eye for the Straight Guy TV show set, right? So that's a new hairstyle for this year. The little skates go on his feet. Of course, those make it a little bit difficult to actually position him or stand him up rather on the display base, or using a little jumper plate and stand that's included, but you do get those, and of course the trophy. There's a couple of little extra pieces in that bag. We'll move those to the side for now. So the next one is the wheelchair racer. I don't know if that's actually his name right now at this point. With the names for these characters, I'm going with a Google translation from a German toy retailer. The official English names have not been released yet at the time that I'm recording this, so of course I will include those in the main article at truenorthbricks.com when they become available, and probably in the comments below as well. So this one with the wheelchair racer, there's 2 bags. So there's a bag within the bag, so that's a pretty telltale sign of who you've got because it makes the package much thicker. So in the little bag, you've got the minifigure parts and the wheels for the wheelchair. But the thing that makes this one really easy to determine is actually the wheelchair frame itself. So that's a really easy piece to find because it's got like a chair backing to it, and then there's a long kind of axle that sticks out of the front. So that's what I was able to use to identify this the most, because this secondary bag actually makes it really hard to feel what's inside the box. Or sorry, not the box, inside the bag. So the easiest thing to look for with this is the wheelchair frame. Interestingly, inside of this, there is also a clear 1x1 cylinder. I'm not really sure what that is supposed to be, but you can actually feel that sometimes when you're feeling through the bag. And the other piece to look for is maybe this helmet, because you can feel the ridges of the helmet and kind of the distinct shape of it. But again, those are pretty hard to locate inside of the second bag because it makes it that much harder to feel what's in there. Now I'm just going to open up one of these instruction books just to figure out what that clear cylinder, 1x1 cylinder piece is actually supposed to be, because it's not immediately obvious to me why it's included in this set. It's to hold the wheelchair on the base. So you're supposed to place this on the display base, and then you put your wheels onto the wheelchair. So this is a new model of wheelchair that we have not seen in Lego sets before. And then this is supposed to sit here so that the wheelchair sticks to the base. And then of course you get a gold medal for the minifigure. There's actually 2 of them included in here, so you get an extra, which is a really nice addition. And he sits on his wheelchair like so. And of course you get the little extra medal. All right, next up we have the ornithologist. So this one is a female ornithologist, so she wears that baseball cap piece with the ponytail sticking out, so that's a really easy object to identify in this kit. At least I thought it was really easy. I also found the binoculars pretty much every time I was trying to figure out what was in one of these bags, and it turned out to be this one. And of course the toucan. The toucan was not the easiest thing to locate, but I mean it is still an identifiable characteristic. So she comes with a little satchel that you put on, and it's pink. And there is like a GPS watch printed on her arm, which is really neat. So she's got some arm printing going on there. A double-sided face, one that has kind of a smile and one that has kind of a smirk, and she's got a beauty dot. There are 2 binocular pieces, and they're actually a dark green color, so that's the first time I've seen that piece in a different color, or at least that shade of color. Now one thing that I do want to caution you about is the plant piece that's included in here. I know when I store these plant pieces, these leaves often break off. They fall off pretty easily in my plant storage bin. So if you have a whole box of these in the store and lots of people have been feeling the packages to figure out what's inside, you might end up with broken off leaves. Even when you're feeling the bag yourself, you want to be careful because, again, these leaves do come off pretty easily, and you might end up with a broken piece inside of your blind bag. So there we have the ornithologist with her binoculars, dark green binoculars, pink satchel, and this is the first time ever that we are getting a Lego toucan. Alright, so this is the Fantasy Warrior So it's the female, I guess, kind of knight character who has greenish blue skin. She was identifiable primarily by her sword. So there are two characters that have swords in this series. There's the Snow Warrior, and then there's this one, but they have very different swords. So in this case, the Snow Warrior has a much larger, longer sword with a pointed tip, whereas this character has the more traditional knight's or castle sword with the blunted tip. So this character also has a double-sided face, so she looks a little bit more angry on one side and smiling on the other. You get kind of that wavy feathered hair piece, but this time in a bluish green. She has an extra sword, and then a shield that is reminiscent of the Gungan shields from Star Wars, or also what we saw a long time ago with the Lego Dimensions line, right? They had those see-through oval-shaped shields as well. So this one is the Forest Boy, or the Acorn Boy. I'm not really sure what its official name is going to be. I'm really quite thrilled about this character because it is a shorter character, but it looks like from the box art they have included not those stumpy, unmoving legs that I really hate, but they have actually included the shorter, movable legs. Now this one is identifiable by the acorn hat. Also, it's another bag within a bag, so it is a slightly thicker package, so that helps too. The only reason that it is a thicker package is because there's like this oak leaf cape that the character wears. Now the bag within the bag in this case is not as obvious as it is in a minifigure like, for example, the wheelchair character, but you can still determine that it's there. There is a word of caution that I would give you with finding this character, and that is with the acorn hat. The acorn hat, in my experience, feeling my way through these packages, is very, very similar in terms of how it feels to the Winter or Snow Warrior character. They have very similar hats with kind of a frill around the bottom and a domed top. So the Forest Boy here, his hat is a little bit more narrow, I guess. That's kind of the difference between them. But it is still kind of tricky at times to figure out which one is which. So another defining characteristic to tell that you have this one instead of the Winter Warrior is that he has this walking stick. And there's also a couple of pieces to make a mushroom. There are some extra pieces in here. So you have one extra mushroom top and one extra walking stick in that case. So the sixth character I'm going to look at here is the Repair Robot. So this one is very easy to figure out because the bag is full of random little bricks. So this character comes with a buildable robot. So that buildable robot is all random bricks. So when I was feeling this for the first time, I found this 1x2 plate with a handle or a clip on it. So that one set me off a little bit at first. I couldn't figure out what it was, and then looking at the pictures, I suddenly realized that it is just a brick that is used to build the small little robot that comes with this. So the minifigure has a special arm. This special arm, you attach one of those wrench pieces to it. So he's not, he is a standard minifigure, but he has a non-standard minifigure part. You don't see what its face looks like on the box because he's wearing a welding helmet. He's got like a little smile. It is double printed, but it's not a face on the other side. He has like a fun little battery logo on the back of his head that shows how many bars are left in his battery charge. So that's a really neat feature that you don't get to see on the box. And of course his face is mostly hidden by that welding helmet. He also comes with a hammer So the hammer is another thing you can feel for in the bag. The first time I found this character, I did not find the hammer. I felt mostly those little bricks that make the robot. But on subsequent trials, I was able to find the hammer as well. So if we look at how to build this robot, you have these rounded 1x2 plates. So there's 2 of those that go on either side of the 1x2 plate with the handle on it. The eyes are 2 separate semicircular pieces. Go on the front, and then the legs you just tack on to the bottom. And you've got your little robot. Let's move these over a bit just to make sure they're all in the camera shot there, since I can't actually see what I'm filming at the moment. So he comes with a few extra pieces as well. Alright, the Blue Bard. So this is an interesting character for Castle fans, primarily because it is a Castle's character, but also because it has some throwback references to the very first Lego castle that was ever made. So that was that yellow castle. It had a different banner from all the other castles, and that banner was basically just a crown. Now, if you look at the little coins that come with this character, the coins feature that same image. So it's kind of like this bard is from that original castle. His pink detailing on the torso and the pink feather in his cap are also the same color of pink, interestingly, as the banner from that original castle that featured the crown on it. So in terms of this character, the coins were the first thing that I found. But it's also easy to identify this character based on the little guitar that the bard comes with. So Castles fans will probably like this one. He'll go really well with the Creator 3-in-1 Castle that came out this year. So the Minifigure Series has a tendency to create at least one, whoops, that flew out of the picture. So the Minifigure Series has the tendency to produce at least one interesting character that goes along with like a creator set from earlier in the year. So, you know, when the pirate ship came out, we got a pirate in the Minifigure Series. Now the 3-in-1 Castle came out, so we get this little bard, and he has some coins, printed coins, which are nice, that go along with him. A couple of extra feathers. The Winter Warrior or Snow Warrior is up next. So again, this is one that you can easily confuse with the Forest Boy because of the shape of the hat. So be careful if that's the characteristic you're using to identify the character. I found the easiest way to tell the difference between this and the Forest Child was again the walking stick that the Forest Boy comes with. But also this Winter Warrior character, he comes with a long pointed sword. He also comes with a shield. So the shield is really easy to identify, and it's also a different shape of shield from the female warrior. You get one of these fur neck trims in this one too. I didn't actually find that when I was feeling the package, but I guess that's something that you could pretty easily look for. The hat was the standout really. Every time that I found this character, that was one of the first things that I felt, and then the sword was the other main characteristic that I used. There is a husky in this set too, so the husky can probably help you, but interestingly enough, I don't think I ever felt that when I was going through these packages. Chili Pepper, this one is a super easy character to find. All you really need to feel for is the Chili Pepper costume. That's the only thing that I used every time that I found this character because it's a huge piece and it really sticks out the second that you pick this up. Another characteristic that can probably help you to identify this character is that it comes with a 1x1 brick, and then there's the wedge piece that goes on top to make the milk carton. The interesting thing about this particular set or character that they don't show you on the box is that this character comes with an extra hairpiece. And I found that while I was looking at this character, or trying to feel the package for this character. So it's a red hairpiece that with kind of like the side bangs that come down, I guess. So it can be displayed either with the hairpiece, and in that case she's got like a fiery chili pepper logo on her shirt, which is kind of fun. Or you take the hairpiece off and she wears the chili pepper costume. So that's an interesting addition that they didn't show you on the box that you do actually get with the character. Now here we have the insect alien. So this is probably my least favorite character in this minifigure series. I'm not super thrilled with the way that it looks. So it uses the kind of bumblebee or butterfly headpiece that some past characters have had, or well, in this case it's recolored. But this character doesn't really have a face. It just has a giant mouth printed on the headpiece, and this is because the antennas are eyes, so you're supposed to put them on top of the head. It's kind of rubbery and it doesn't go on super easily, but that kind of puts the upper lip on the mouth and completes the face. Now this character has an extra headpiece that's included in the bag. So I was able to find this and I was kind of wondering what it was because there's two heads in the package. This one is a trans green head. I don't really know what that logo is supposed to represent. There's a logo printed on it that looks like an orange or something splattering, like there's juice flying out of it. Could be an exploding planet or something of the sort. I'll have to look into that a little bit more to figure out what it is. This character does not come with any instructions. So you get two 1x1 studs. I guess those go on the gun. There's a little neck piece that you put on, and then the image shows that this kind of just sticks to the back. So it's like a container of some sort. I don't really know what it's supposed to represent. So again, this is my least favorite character, but it does have the classic space logo on it, which is fun. So if you were building your own Lego Star Trek-esque crew, you could have an alien on it now with the space logo on it. There you have that character. And the gun is another easily identifiable thing in that bag. So if you're looking for this character, the antennas on the headpiece, the two heads in the bag, and then the gun was really what gave it away every time for me. The next one is Raccoon Girl, or Raccoon Costume Girl. So this is another blind bag that is double bagged, right? So when you open it up, you have the minifigure parts and a trash can and a garbage bag in the little bag. And then the tail piece is, I guess, the reason why it's separated like this. So the tail piece is not inside the bag. Interestingly, this one too also has an extra hair piece. So it comes with a gray, that typical gray kind of grandmother's hair that you get in the city theme. And I just dropped the head on the floor. So it does not have that typical grandmothery old looking face. So there's one side, it's double printed with a closed mouth, one side with a smiling face on it. So you can put the tail onto their dual molded legs, so there's little boots molded onto there. You can have this character displayed with gray hair, or again, you can take the hair off and she can wear a raccoon mask. So this raccoon mask is the same mold as the fox from a couple of series ago. There's a garbage bag here that the character can hold on to. So that's a fun one. The animal costumes are always great to have. And then the last character here is the farm girl. So the way that I identified this was the carrot. So she has a carrot accessory, and that's easy to identify. This is also another one that has 2 bags. So when you open it up, you get the minifigure parts in one bag, and then you get the foal and the display base in the other. So this foal is a big piece, so that's really easy to identify when you're feeling the bag. The other thing that I used besides the carrot and the foal was the hairpiece. So you have a recolored version of Parker's hair from the now discontinued Hidden Side line. So we've seen that in a couple of others. It was in the Chinese New Year sets, for example, as well. So this character has kind of dirt printed on her face on both sides. She's got a little smirk on one side and a smile with braces on the other. So that's a fun addition. This is also a new type of plaid shirt that we haven't seen before. It's got arm printing as well. And she also has the short legs that are movable. So there's not a single character in this minifigure series line that has those stupid stumpy legs that don't bend anymore. So we've got the farmer girl with a carrot and her foal. So there you have the latest minifigures. That's series 22. They're going to cost $4.99 each here in Canada. And there are 3 sets in each box. One thing that I did notice as I was going through the boxes, they're not very randomly distributed. I found several of the characters clustered together. So if you find a box like this in the store, you're probably going to have to feel through the whole thing before you get all of the characters. Because again, they alternated a little bit. There would be like 2 characters that alternate, then another 2 characters that alternate, then another 2 characters that alternate. So they weren't very randomly distributed. But there are 3 sets in the box. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that little field guide and introduction to Minifigures Series 22. There is a written version of this field guide over at TrueNorthBricks.com if you're out in the field trying to find these characters and you don't want to use your data to watch this video again. But otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you next time.